And the hits keep coming, ladies and gents, boys and girls, because it is day 4 of Origins Game Fair, day 3 of the exhibitor hall opening up. I forgot how many fingers to hold up there, right? But I have the distinct pleasure of speaking with somebody from one of my favorite companies, near and dear to my heart, Chaosium Inc. and Rick Meints.
Pleasure to talk with you, Jeff.
Thank you. So, you got a lot cooking. We're going to focus on some Call of Cthulhu. We're going to focus on a little bit of Runequest. We might even give a shout out to 7th Sea.
Awesome. Happy to talk about any and all.
All right, so let's begin, because I have heard some really phenomenal things about the Call of Cthulhu starter set. That is the box set. It is available now. And I got to say, and I just was talking to Catalyst just a little bit ago. I said, you got your work cut out for you. Now, I have not actually seen your starter set, but I have seen Warhammer 40K. We've reviewed that. We've reviewed some pretty cool starter sets. So what will entice gamers to check out the Call of Cthulhu?
Well, I feel the number one unique thing we have in our starter set that you won't find in other starter sets is that it starts with a solo adventure. So even if you don't have a gaming group at all, you can try and run through the basics of the rules. It teaches as it goes. It's kind of a choose-your-own-path adventure. Sure. And it allows you to try it by yourself without a gaming group. And then if you want to build a gaming group, you can pass it around to other friends, other players, let them try it at their convenience. And usually if you give it to 4 or 5 people, you'll have a gaming group by the time they've all tried it. And they're like, yeah, we want to sit down and play it as a group now.
Nice.
And that's book 1 out of the 3 books.
So an adventure along the lines of Alone Against the Flames.
Yes, it is. That's exactly the one that's in the box.
That's what's in the box. There you go.
And so
you might want to step a little more on. Yeah, there we go.
Absolutely. I just didn't want to be the center of attention.
Should be.
But along with the solo adventure, it then gets into the introductory rules. Basic set of dice with that, so you can roll up a character or use one of our pre-gens. And then it has 3 to 5 player scenarios, so you can try it as a group. You got 3 different scenarios, including the legendary Dead Men Stomp.
Yes. No haunted house. I remember. Yes, I remember. I was like, when the new edition came out, I was like, oh, "There's no haunted house."
We like to mix it up a little bit.
No.
We like to put the chaos in Chaosium a little bit. We are not the Ordarium, after all.
Correct. Nice thing too is the very, very friendly price point of the starter set.
Well, we've had people say that they want to try our game, but they are willing to invest only a certain amount of time and a certain amount of money. And so we have it for $25. At the show, we have it just for $20 as a show special to try to get people in. We don't want money to stand in the way of having a great time getting scared to death.
Sure, right. We were chatting a little bit before we went on camera. Those who follow my weekday live show, The Daily Dope, on the Gaming Gang channel, already know I have run Call of Cthulhu for... let's see, a little more than 3 decades? Yeah, okay. I had the first box set. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I was a little tyke. I think I was a freshman in high school when I first picked it up.
Well, actually, speaking of the box, the 1-inch box that the starter set comes in is the first classic 1-inch Chaosium box we've had in over 25 years.
Say, in a long, long time.
Bring it back, so we figured let's start with a classic product that everyone's going to love in a classic box. To kind of tying into the roots of where Call of Cthulhu started back in 1981.
Speaking of classics, and what originally came in that 1-inch box, because I had it, Mask of Nyarlathotep, the new, revamped, revised, beautiful, just blow you away edition, has been out for a bit.
Yes, big gnarly, as I like to call it.
There we go.
And it is definitely big. I mean, no way you get it in a 1-inch box anymore. Because it's 666 pages of adventure, and then we have a very large set of handouts that go with it, all in a deluxe slipcase set.
Yes, and you will see some B-roll because it looks phenomenal. And I want to point out, I ran Mask of Nyarlathotep way back in the day when it first came out. Mm-hmm. Those of you who watch the show already know my best friend Elliot Miller over at voiceofe.com. He still remembers loads and loads of things from that. All those years ago, he couldn't tell you what he had for lunch yesterday, but he can tell you all about Mask of Nyarlathotep.
Well, it's up for an Origins Award for Best RPG Supplement, and we're hoping it wins. Unfortunately, we had the sad passing of Larry DiTilio just late last year. We're kind of hoping this can be one last cool award for him to get. We'll find out tonight.
Speaking of unfortunate passings, Greg Stafford passed away not too long ago. And his Glorantha setting is just amazing. I don't think there was any other creator out there who invested so much time and energy into fleshing out just an amazing system. And of course, there's new Runequest that's out that's going to support all that Glorantha goodness.
Yeah, I mean, Greg redefined unique.
Yeah.
And he was the founder of the company, and he helped get the current team of management involved, and helped revamp it one last time. And fortunately, RuneQuest debuted at Gen Con, and he was there to see it.
Yeah.
We won the fan favorite publisher. He got, and we didn't know it at the time, but it was kind of his farewell address, thanking all the fans for all the years. And in some ways, he went out on a high note.
Yes, most definitely. Most definitely. And I do want to point out, I am so happy to see the turnaround that has taken place at Chaosium, because there was some stormy weather.
Yes, there were Kickstarter difficulties, a lot of delays, but we said when we got involved we were going to do it right and deliver, and that's what we did.
Right.
Took a few years, and we'd like to thank all the patient backers who hung in there with us, and we'd like to think they got a heck of a quality product at a heck of a good price.
And I think there's a heck of a good management team in place now with the company too.
Thank you.
The check will clear, folks. I guarantee it.
And so, we all grew up with the company. I started playing games when I was a teenager back in the late 70s. I played RuneQuest when it came out. I played Call of Cthulhu came out in 81, and I only switched from that to Stormbringer because it came out a few months later. All the classic Chaosium big boxes. So and the other managers, we tell you the same story. We all kind of grew up with the company since we were teenagers.
Yeah. I remember I got the 1-inch box RuneQuest when it came out, and I was not. I played D&D, and I like D&D and stuff, and then I was kind of expanding my horizons. I picked up Traveler, and I picked up RuneQuest, and I was like, "Whoa, this is totally different."
Yeah. Very similar experience for me. The Traveler, Little Black Box, Free Trader Beowulf, and all that. And you started with Dungeons and Dragons because that was the big gateway for most role players.
Yeah.
And then once I tried RuneQuest, I got hooked on Chaosium games ever since.
Yes. The basic role-playing system, I guess we'll call it. Or, as other people like to say, D100 system.
Yep. That's basically it.
So you also have John Wick 7th Sea.
Our latest acquisition, bringing John into the team as a full-time line editor. Nice. John started talking with us about, the struggles he was having with his Kickstarter. And the more we talked, the more it made sense we might be able to help him. And he's always been a lifelong Chaosium fan going way back, especially with Pendragon. That was one of his first Chaosium.
Great Greg Stafford product.
In some ways, the quintessential Greg Stafford system.
Yeah.
That was his personal core creation. I mean, yes, he was profoundly involved with RuneQuest, but that was a team.
Yeah.
Pendragon was basically Greg.
Yes.
And so,
it's a very, very unique system that has not really been duplicated.
Just when you think the guy can't come up with something awesome and totally new, that's exactly what it does. Yes. And that's why it won a Diana Jones Award, for the Great Pendragon campaign. But, John, the more he talked with us, the more we saw that he was a kindred spirit, same ethos of what Chaosium's really all about. And so we found a way to bring him in-house, and he's now our full-time line editor for 7th Sea. And it's great to have him on board.
Excellent. Yeah, John is a unique talent in the industry. He really is. And he's another person who doesn't do just cookie-cutter stuff.
No, I mean, he writes for such a wide variety of systems. He's already writing some Pendragon material for us, writing some RuneQuest material for us. He's got Call of Cthulhu ideas, along with, of course, core focus, 7th Sea, and the remaining Kickstarter deliverables. But he's just one of these guys, he's a Renaissance guy. He's always dabbling in a wide variety of things, and he only spends 60 hours a week on 7th Sea, and then the other time he dabbles in other things.
Sure. He's a designer that doesn't wear blinders, that's for sure.
Absolutely.
What other items do you want to maybe talk about a little bit, Rick? Anything that's maybe near and dear to your heart, or something that you feel deserves a little more love, maybe flew under the radar?
Well, we are a role-playing game company. That's our core.
You are? Wait a second, what?
But, one of the things I'd love to talk about just briefly is we have a wonderful set of beginning readers books, for Call of Cthulhu.
Yeah.
We have the H.P. Lovecraft's Call of Cthulhu for beginning readers and the second volume of Dagon. And, a lot of people are Cthulhu curious.
Yes.
And those are just great, wonderful starting points. And, in some ways it's welcomed a lot of new fans into the family. And
the art style is a bit like, if you bust out the old Dr. Seuss books.
It's a whimsical art style that many people grew up with. And they're just a wonderful, it's probably the biggest draw to the booth.
Oh,
and
I believe it.
And then a lot of people try the role-playing game or our Miskatonic University card game, our latest Kickstarted game. And so it just kind of starts their journey into the wide world of Chaosium and all of our games.
Well, you just mentioned Miskatonic University. Tell our audience a little bit about that.
Well, we've always loved Reiner Knizia games, and Miskatonic University is actually the second game of his that we kickstarted. First, we had Conic Cons, which was a Gloranthan game, and it was a success. And we also had another one of his games that we thought he had written it for just a more general rules system. And we said, this would work with Miskatonic University. And so we came up with the theme of we're going to be professors vying for tenure. And because the stakes are so low, it was such a vicious game. And so between getting to sacrifice teaching assistants and putting together amulets of power and grimoire fragments, you are competing for tenure with the most victory points to get the job you've always dreamed, the head of the restricted collection at Miskatonic University.
Very cool.
It's a wonderful collection set game, only 45 minutes to an hour of play. It's one of these great pickup games that, with Reiner, it's got a lot of subtlety in it, a lot of, it definitely still waters run deep on this game, and
Nice.
It's got a lot of repeat playability.
Any final thoughts, Rick, that you want to share with our audience?
I want to thank all of the long-term fans that have stuck with us through all of our ups and downs. We had to up our game on a wide variety of levels, and I like to think we'll keep improving and doing more of those things. But, I just wanted to say thank you for all the people who were patient and supported us through all the lean times, the dark times, and are still here today to enjoy all the great things we have coming out and supporting us as we keep coming out with more things like that.
You heard it. Big thanks. Oh, because, obviously, Chaosium could have gone the way of the dodo like many of those classic game companies.
It could have very easily died at least 3 different times. I guess we're a cat with 9 lives, and hopefully we've still got 4 or 5 of them left.
And I got my fingers crossed you do, too, because I love tons and tons of Chaosium products. Rick, thank you so much for...
Thank you, Jeff. I really appreciate you taking the time to come around to the booth, show off our big back wall banner. And
I'll see you at Gen Con.
We will be at Gen Con. Look forward to talking again.
Cool deal. Thanks. Thanks for watching my Origins Game Fair 2019 coverage. If you'd like to see more convention coverage, click right here. And if you'd like to see a somewhat random video from the Gaming Gang channel, including recordings of the live Monday through Friday episodes of The Daily Dope, click right here. Once again, I'm Jeff McAleer. Thank you very much for watching, and please subscribe.